If you'll excuse me, I need some time to consider everything you've told me. Once I determine the best way to proceed, I'll contact you. In the meantime, make sure Veya stays away from Balmora and House Redoran. It was never meant to be an attack. I sent Captain Briven to clear land that already belonged to House Redoran. The Ashlanders were given an opportunity to depart. The situation didn't have to turn violent. Those damn savages should have just left. House Redoran has been slowly expanding in that direction for years. We claimed that area almost a year ago, but we were forced to temporarily abandon it when a massive ash storm hit. Before we could return, the Ashlanders moved in. Redoran depends on that land for hunting and resources. The Ashlanders are like a plague of insects. They sweep into an area, take everything, and move on. We couldn't allow them to do that here. So I sent Captain Briven to convince them otherwise. The captain serves House Redoran with honor and dedication. He's out doing his job. If Briven had anything to do with my son's death, he would have reported it to me. He'd have no reason to keep such news from me and the other councilors. I'll speak to Briven when he returns. But understand, the captain operated under my orders. He's an exemplary soldier and an upstanding member of the House. Like me, everything he does is for the betterment of House Redoran.
Outlander, over here! Now you told me what you found in the Ashlander mine. I can't imagine what Veya must be going through right now, but she shouldn't be alone. That's why I came looking for you. Nayu has responsibilities to tend to. Morag Tong responsibilities. Understand? She left me to keep Veya company, but I'm not very good at spouting words of comfort and solace. Unless I can kill something, I'm very good at that. You do understand. And now you implied you're as dense as the ash storms coming off Red Mountain. Good to know even the Mother of Blades can be wrong. Veya's upset, and not just about her brother. She wanted to go with Nayu. One other thing. Nayu's job concerns House Redoran. That's why she didn't want Veya to accompany her on this one. Veya's grief-stricken, angry, and ready to lash out at anyone and anything, so keep your head low and try not to upset her. I have experience getting on a lot of people's bad sides. Women, especially, find me exasperating. Irresistible, but exasperating. It's a gift. Something about who Nayu's target is. Thinks the target may know something about what happened to her brother. Look, I'm not even sure how Veya found out who Nayu's target is, and I don't want to know. Just go and talk to her, please. Carefully, and with your hands empty and clearly visible. She's in the safe house beneath Balmora, or at least that's where I left her. But I didn't lock the door, so I suppose she could be anywhere by now. I suggest you hurry and get down there.
Oh, it's you. Sorry about that. Did Ashur send you to check up on me? I swear, the next person that treats me like a child is going to find my dagger in their stomach. Gods, I'm not mad at you. I'm just annoyed at everybody right now. No, I don't think so. It's just been difficult. Finding poor Ulran in the Ashlander camp. I need to be doing something. Sitting down here in the dark, hiding, that's not going to solve anything. I know, but Nariu's writ. It involves a Redoran councillor. Exactly the opportunity I've been waiting for. The councillor knows who set up my brother. We need to talk to her before Nariu executes the writ. Do this for me, and I promise to stay here. Well, Nariu wouldn't tell me any specifics, but she trained me well. It wasn't hard to sneak a glance at the writ before she took off. Her target's at Arenum Manor, out in the swamp. Not far from that smelly cave, actually. I appreciate you agreeing to see what you can learn at Arenum Manor. My father used to say it was used by councillors as a retreat, but Mother always told me it was where they conducted business that required a certain degree of privacy. That's all I've been doing, thinking. And I think Ulran was right. I think someone wanted him out of the way, and they orchestrated the event with the Ashlanders to do it. Someone played my brother for a fool, and it cost him his life. Briven's as stubborn as my father when it comes to following the rules and regulations of House Redoran. Ulran and Briven were best friends, even if they argued from time to time. Politics, foreign relations, the Ashlanders, you name an issue, and Ulran and Briven were probably on opposite sides of the argument. It got to the point where I had to ignore both of them or they'd drive me insane. You did? How did he take it? I mean, he didn't know that my brother was dead. Really? I suppose that makes sense. I think he loves us, in his own way. But what else did he say? Did he know that Ulran had been banished? He didn't expect... My father doesn't know his children as well as he thinks. Either of them. That's why I had to get away. Join the Morag Tongue. At least Nariu understands me. Mostly. I can't agree to that. I need to figure out what happened to my brother, who was involved, and then I'm going to make them pay. Just you watch.
I expected you hours ago, hero. It's not polite to keep an assassin waiting. I was wondering how long it was going to take Veya to convince you to follow me. But she thought I didn't notice when she glanced at my writ, didn't she? Where is my overly curious apprentice, by the way? I know Veya wants answers, but this is my job. There are rules, especially where the lords of the great houses are concerned. There might be a way to deal with this, though, provided you're willing to help. First, don't kill any Redorans. That's a violation of my writ and could have serious consequences for both of us. Second, you sneak around and search for anything that pertains to Ulran's exile, while I figure out how to deal with the Councilor. We need to be invisible. These things work best when no one but the target knows we're there. If you get spotted, you're on your own. I even cough on anyone without a writ, and the Morag Tongue will have my head. It's unusual, but not unheard of. True, most writs taken out against the houses target low to mid-ranking officials. The Grand Master is cautious when it comes to accepting such a high-profile writ. Apparently, though, this target has been very bad. Councilor Dovera has been conspiring with House Drez to promote the slave trade and avoid scrutiny by Redoran and Pact officials. She played a dangerous but profitable game, and her coffers were overflowing, until someone noticed. I'm not privy to the laborious investigations that took place. In cases like these, though, the target usually becomes complacent and lets her guard down. She made a mess. Now I get to clean it up, for the good of Dunmer society. That's the question, isn't it? It nags at us the way the torchbug nags at the brave little scrib in those children's stories. Once we discover who Ulron's torchbug is, we'll have a clearer understanding of why they set him up and why he had to die. I'm not saying that. Accidents happen. But they certainly made sure Ulron was in the wrong place at the wrong time, both in Balmora and again in the Ashlander camp. In addition to whatever you can find here, I should also talk to Captain Briven. Briven's name keeps coming up. At the very least, he was Ulron's best friend once. He might be able to shed some light on Ulron and what happened to cause his exile. And I really want to know what took place after Ulron left us that message. Veya's my apprentice, and I'll decide when she's ready to take on a mission. She's been through a lot, and her actions reflect on me and my status in the Morag Tong. She may not appreciate it right now, but I'm trying to keep the both of us on track. That's how it works. Her actions are my actions. Veya goes out and executes 3 writs. I share the credit and get praised for training my apprentice. On the other hand, if she kills someone without a writ, the Morag Tong takes both our heads. There have to be. My order came this close to being eliminated. It's only recently that we've started to make a comeback, and only in Dunmer territory. If we can't control the actions of our members, we'll be hunted down and destroyed for sure.
This is my favorite part.
That's what he's... Tell that stupid Swiss to watch his back.
Try not to be superstitious. That brings bad luck.
What a little extortion among friends.
Getting old is no picnic, but the alternative is a lot worse.
See what you can find pertaining to Ulron. I've got a dagger and a writ with Councilor Dolvar's name on them.
That bitter green was undercooked.
So House Redoran issued an advisory against the Morag Tong? Fat lot of good that's going to do the Councillor.
He's not the sharpest arrow in the quiver.
His
Seems to be making a lot of enemies.
Damn the luck! I was hoping for a quick stab and go, but it seems the Councilor might actually know something about Ulron.
This is so much better than reading.
If we don't find anything, maybe we can ask for an invitation to the upcoming council meeting. I'm sure they'd be happy to answer our questions. So Councilor Dolvra does know something about Veya's brother. Damn it all. Now I suppose you want to actually talk to her before I execute the walking pile of pond scum. Of course we do. I specifically waited for you to arrive because I figured that would be the case. Still doesn't mean I'm happy about blurring the line between helping Veya and performing my duty as a Morag Tong. We discovered that the next meeting of the High Council will take place at the consulate outside Balmora. The war clause and the Ashlander abuse aren't completely sanctioned by the House, and Dolvra was present when Ulron was exiled. Not a bad haul. That means we have to get Dolvra to spill her guts before I spill her guts. Just keep your wits about you, hero. Dolvra wields her feminine charms the way I wield my daggers. Don't let her seduce you into doing something stupid before I end her. Be quick with your questions, hero. When I slip in, suit my daggers.
Ah, you must be here about those pesky patrol schedules. After all that clandestine correspondence, it's a pleasure to finally meet you in person. Now, come closer so we can celebrate our partnership in a proper fashion. Well, look at you. I'm impressed. The last person House Dres sent over was so much more scruffy. I have a meeting with House Halalu shortly, but I think I can spare a few more moments for you to seal our partnership, you understand. The noble's banished son? Why does House Drez care about that? Never mind. Anything so we can get to the good stuff. Ulron was tested and found wanting. Chose the life of a savage over his own soldier. We stripped him of his rank and exiled him. Ulron's dead? I hadn't heard. As to who was behind the test of Ulron's loyalty, what does that matter? He failed and paid the price for his poor choices. What does all this have to do with our arrangement?
You aren't clever enough or pretty enough to avoid what's about to happen, Dolvra.
What's the meaning of this? Who are you people?
I'm a Morag Tong with a writ that says you're a criminal and a traitor. That means I get to end your miserable existence. Take another look around, hero, and see if you can find anything else related to Ulron. Alikir massage oils? Fancy. But that has nothing to do with Ulron. More proof that Dolvra was in bed with both House Halalu and House Drez.
That bit of green was undercooked.
That's Captain Briven's seal. I suppose our evil counselor courted favor wherever she could find it. The good Captain Briven appears to be more involved in Ulron's fate than I had imagined. He never struck me as the type to use murder and deceit to get ahead, but that's the problem with greed. It causes decent people to make stupid choices. Or he's trying to hide something. The letter mentioned an intact squad sent to scout the old fort. You need to get out there and see what those soldiers know before Briven gives them new orders and they disappear. If you can slip into town, sure. Veya should be told. But you didn't take my advice. You killed Redoran soldiers. That's your trouble to deal with. I need to present my completed writ, so I'll catch up with you in Veya later.
Isn't the best defense always a good attack?
Back again? Took your sweet time. You didn't learn anything, did you? Not that it matters. Ulron's dead and nothing can change that. What good is that going to do? They won't speak to us. House before family and all that. Believe me, I'm more than familiar with Redoran honor. Still, I suppose I know a few ways to get people to talk. More rules. I thought we were beyond those kinds of limitations. Look, I need to figure out who's responsible for Oren's death. House councillors, Redoran soldiers, Ashlanders, whoever it is, they need to pay. Riven was Oren's best friend. Would he really betray my brother? Regardless, I want you to have this. You could have handed me to my father, and you didn't. Other than Naryu and Ashur, you might be the only friend I have left. So which soldiers are we talking about? I think we have an appointment with some Redoran soldiers.